for round number 8. Andrew Baeckstrom versus Bruce Edelman. Andrew Baeckstrom with Blue Devotion. Bruce Edelman with Black Devotion. A tiny touch of blue in it. Andrew Baeckstrom on the play. Starts off with an Island Go. Bruce Edelman, Swamp Thoughtseize. And that's, here we go. What do you got? Frostburn Weird, Master of Waves, Rapid Hybridization, and Land. Ouch. The Frostburn Weird is the card that would be his next turn play, and away it goes.
Seems like a good idea. The Blue Devotion deck firing off of having as many blue mana symbols in play as possible. Taking the early drop is going to make the rest of their game play out a lot clunkier.
Land Go, and Bruce Edelman here, if he has a Pack Rat, Watery Grave Go. He could have actually just completely torn away the tempo. Even with the Rapid Hybridization, that's not where Baeckstrom wants to be. Island number 3 and a Go. Bruce here with a Mutavault.
Yep. And no
Lifebane Zombie.
No fear, just plays the Lifebane Zombie because Mono Blue Devotion really doesn't play many counters, man.
Andrew Baeckstrom's Tricky Trick cards are 3 Rapid Hybridization, 1 Cyclonic Rift, and a Domestication in the main deck. Other than that, you're not going to see anything other than creatures and the 2 Bidents. Attack with the Lifebane Zombie.
Yep. Baeckstrom chooses to pass on just running a Master Waves out there for 1 token.
Things are looking actually very bad here for Andrew Baeckstrom, who looks like he did mulligan this game. Urborg and a Nightveil Spectre. Ouch. Is that a Mutavault? Mutavault. Master.
And I was hoping it'd be a Domestication.
The big 1 token. A Domestication there would have been gorgeous. It would have been one of those really, really awesome moments. That Nightveil Spectre is so dangerous, particularly because Bruce Edelman actually has blue mana in his deck. Okay.
Yeah, definitely helps a lot. Yeah, he's leaving the blue mana open.
Bile Blight kills the Master and Friend. Rapid Hybridization gets rid of the Nightveil Spectre. We expected that.
Goofy mutant or something, right?
And another blue land. Temple down to the bottom. What is Andrew going to have to draw here to recover in this game? Is it going to have to be Nightveil Spectre and then gas, gas, gas?
I would think at least a couple Nightveil Spectres.
Judge is familiar. Go. Far
Not
away
quite,
in Bruce's hand.
Not quite a Nightveil Spectre.
In they come. The frog, lizard, koala, whatever else is on it. And a...
it's like 6 creature types.
And a demon. And Andrew Baeckstrom now very little going.
Trying to figure out how we can get out of this.
Domestication would be a good way to start, but even then, there's still a demon over there, and away he goes.
Can you domesticate a demon and second to itself?
You cannot, unfortunately.
So.
I have not attempted to do that. I have gone through that thought process a million times and been like, nope, it doesn't work. Andrew Baeckstrom, the only undefeated player left in the tournament, or I should say the only 21-point player left in the tournament, down a game versus Bruce Edelman. Baeckstrom, in his sideboard, has 4 Gainsay, 2 Negate, 2 Dispel, 2 Dissolve, 3 Jace Architect of Thought, and 2 Domestication. Now, the 2 Domestication definitely coming in here in this matchup. And other than that, it really depends on what he views this matchup as being about. So I'm curious how he's going to do the rest of the sideboarding for this matchup, because you don't want to end up getting yourself to be too controlling when a part of your whole goal is to just kind of set some tempo out and then kill the game out. So maybe some negates to try to protect from Drown in Sorrow and other removal spells?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has to approach the black deck like it's a control deck. So I think negates are probably... I think he's going to want to set up and then cover a few of his creatures with counter spells. He doesn't want to lose his tempo on he has to come out faster in the beginning.
On the other side of the table, Bruce Edelman, he's got a large amount of removal spells in the sideboard that he can bring in from Doomblade, Drown in Sorrow, and Farika's Cure. One thing that has been known to happen on camera and in feature matches at Grand Prix and at other SCG events is it has been known to see Dark Betrayal show up to kill Night Veil Spectre from Blue Devotion. I seem to recall that Todd did this against Sam Black at Louisville.
I'm not sure it's entirely unreasonable. I mean, Baeckstrom might be bringing in domestications, and if he does, you might have to kill your own Night Veil Spectre or
kill your pack rat. You know, I know
exactly.
One thing Andrew Baeckstrom was telling me earlier today that one of the things that happened in this very matchup, a more traditional version of the black deck, he was able to domesticate a pack rat completely on the ropes the entire game, making pack rat tokens because of his Nykthos. Just making pack rat token after pack rat token merely as a chump blocker to stay alive until he was able to Cyclonic Rift his opponent's whole side of the board and take over completely. So, you know, having a Dark Betrayal there or any other card that might be able to kill that pack rat could be a good thing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that far outside.
If you're just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Brian Kowal. This is round 8 of the World Magic Cup Qualifier. Make sure that you're following on Twitter, #WMCQ, for not only the results here at this event, but also for people that are doing well all over the entire world. If you were following that on Twitter, you would know about a few World Magic Cup Qualifier winners already.
He could definitely use a couple more Drown in Sorrows, I think, for this matchup.
Yeah, he only has one.
Right. That seems like your bomb card against mono blue.
Yeah, I mean, it basically wipes everything out except for the occasional the cards that are less important and Night Veil Spectre. But I mean, knocking out, let's say, Master of Waves and Friends. Though, to be fair, after sideboard, Master of Waves is much less likely to be in because it's much harder to establish any kind of board presence when they bring in even more removal.
So you think he might be boarding out his Master Waves?
A lot of times people have boarded out Master of Waves when they're playing against the removal heavy decks just because you can't count on the ability to get any reasonable amount of devotion from it.
Well, it was well, like I know at the beginning of that standard he was.
I think we might be seeing a mulligan here. Was that what? Or are they just shuffling each other's? Oh, they're just shuffling each other's. My bad. There we go. Andrew Baeckstrom lost that first game in basically pretty savage fashion. No turn 1 play. He mulliganed. His turn 2 play was thought seized away, and he basically sat there for turn after turn doing nothing while his opponent developed the board.
Traditionally, this hasn't been a great matchup for blue, right? Like, isn't black slightly favored?
Well, I mean, it's one of those matchups where, in talking to various players who have specialized in these decks, most people tend to say that the matchup really boils down to essentially how well you know the matchup, and then it's close enough within the margin of error that it's mostly about the little bit of luck combined with knowing your deck and knowing your opponent's deck. It's not so clear-cut, especially with someone like Baeckstrom, who's one of the best players of this archetype that I'm aware of.
It's a skill game.
Oh, the knock on the top. Frostburn Weird, Night Veil Spectre, and lands, including a couple different art there. Frostburn Weird of 1 of 2 goes away. Let's see.
I think that tells Baeckstrom that Bruce has enough removal. Because otherwise, he'd probably go for the more difficult, more dangerous creature in Night Veil Spectre.
There's the weird. And it's a Mutavault go. Hero's Downfall, Doomblade, Sign in Blood. A couple other cards I couldn't quite make out. In comes the weird. Yeah, this is one of those matchups where there's Doomblade comes in and it kills it. This is one of those matchups where I feel as though there are so many interactions that are interesting and intriguing in terms of the decision trees that both players are making. It's the kind of matchup that makes me not really on board with the people that call this a stagnant format, because I think it's just such an interesting format. Wow, look at this. Unloading Frostburn Weird and Judge's Familiar. That Nightveil Spectre still in hand.
Yeah. The third weird.
Land and go. In for at least 2, maybe some more. Small pump, in for 3. We already know there's a land in hand, and there's the Nightveil Spectre. That Judge's Familiar means that a 2-drop removal can't get rid of it. He's going to need a land to be able to Hero's Downfall that Nightveil Spectre. He's got it, though.
Yeah, I think he had a Mutavault in his hand before.
Land go.
I think it's interesting that he lets him untap. Does he just know that he's not bringing in negates or dispels? Or
In my opinion, Bruce Edelman might have a case of end-of-year turnitis.
okay.
Look at that. Pump, 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 pump. Hero's Downfall on what?
Baeckstrom doesn't care. If they're hitting you for 4, you're going to card you.
He says, I don't want the card. Dispel? Rapid Hybridization. That's another one. Here he has a token. 3/3. Yeah, this case of end-of-year turnitis might really punish Bruce. We'll have to see.
Baeckstrom deciding, like, okay, if you're going to take a bunch of damage, we're just going to make sure we have more pressure on.
That Sign in Blood looking a little bit not exciting right now. Nightveil Spectre from Bruce.
Hybridization is a pretty cool card to have in this matchup, actually. I think I like that even better than bringing in a lot of the counter spell, or keeping it in even more than a lot of the counter spells, because it can do so many things, like keep your tempo.
Yeah, and this deck really is a deck that is all about pushing tempo. We see the block there. His life is low enough that he's thinking to himself, you know what, I don't want to go down to some crazy small number. And Andrew Baeckstrom doesn't even attempt to do a trade there. He just hits for the 4 and then passes. Farika's Cure in Bruce's hand.
Why do you think he didn't trade there? Seems
I
like
wonder if he has something in his hand to cast, a dissolve maybe.
even if it's a dissolve, you get a pump twice.
Yeah, I'm not certain. Yeah, looking through his 75 cards, I'm not sure why. But one of the things, he did that so quickly, and he knows this deck so well. I feel like what he's probably thinking is he would rather have this card out there that's a threat that has to be blocked again. Sign in Blood for 2 cards. Bruce Edelman going even closer to death. Looks like he's got a lot of land in hand. We know he's a Farika's Cure.
Yeah, Bruce is down to 2 now.
And a pass. Okay, we got the same block. And to stay alive... Oh, that's not going to do it. I'll sack it. Oh, yeah. Oh. In the background, Adam Jansen watching Matt Hoey and friends. So now we're at 1-1. Andrew Baeckstrom and Bruce Edelman going to game 3 here. And I really do think that this matchup is just full of really interesting interactions, just overall. Lots of decisions to make. I mean, I wonder if Bruce Edelman is kind of second-guessing that Sign in Blood decision. As in keeping it in.
Or even, even curing the bird. I don't know. I mean, I guess it was the only thing he could. Do you have 2 mana open? No. Do you have 2 mana open before that when he blocked with the...
No.
I'm uncertain at this point.
I don't think so, because he had just played it, thinking maybe he had an Urborg in play, you know, like
Well, I mean, one of
maybe
the
Baeckstrom
things
was playing around Freakish Gear.
I think what Bruce Edelman died to there was his end-of-your-turn-itis when he went to kill the Night Veil Spectre, allowing Andrew Baeckstrom to have untapped and rapid hybridization his own Night Veil Spectre. Right there was the game, I think.
Right, yeah, I agree with you.
Because otherwise, I think Andrew Baeckstrom's draw was not particularly superb. It was just a solid, okay draw.
I mean, it was a lot less solid after that Thoughtseize. But, yeah, he definitely turned it into something, you know.
One of the things that are makes me really, really respect the players who have done well in the past and in the present with Blue Devotion is the entire style of deck where you're kind of slowly careening towards running out of resources and hoping to be able to kill your opponent. A deck like this is not the same as, like, say, a red weenie deck where it's trying to rush and then it has cards like, you know, say, like Lightning Strike or now Stoke the Flames, where it can get you low and then take you over the top. This is a deck instead that doesn't really have that reach at all, so it's got to, like, claw for every little bit of damage.
It's more like a white weenie deck at this point. It seems like he has taken out the Masters. He's just, like, trying to just beat down as quickly as he can.
That tempo element that the deck has with its rapid hybridizations, the cyclonic rifts, things like that, and for that matter, the Judge's Familiar, I really like just watching people play this deck because of those hard decisions they have to make. You know, I am not certain why Andrew Baeckstrom didn't trade for the Night Veil Spectre. Maybe it was correct, maybe it was incorrect. I bet you he has a better idea than me.
I bet he has a good reason.
Yeah, I bet you he has a great reason. But that particular kind of decision is one of those things that can be where players like Andrew Baeckstrom will top 4 a Grand Prix, will be in the running for the top 8 of the WMCQ like he is, and another player might be sitting down in 60th place or whatever, hoping to grind their way back up into the prize money at this, you know, let's not forget, this is also a 5K tournament.
Sure. Yeah, he's definitely keeping his cool, keeping control of these games. All right, so they're going to shuffle up for game 3. Bruce will be on the play of this game. Didn't look like they went to the sideboard too much. Looks like they stuck with their plans for the most part. Bruce is playing a fairly standard black devotion deck. I think this is the Jared Betcher deck from last week. Like literally, with the one far away. I don't know if his sideboard is the same, but I do remember seeing one far away in his list last week.
Yeah, the Bruce Edelman, I believe he's an Indiana player, so he didn't have very far to come to play in this event. Andrew Baeckstrom, a Chicago player.
Yeah, his hand's looking a little pretty solid, a little the old two-lander, you know. But otherwise, like, pretty good array of the spells in Black Devotion, about one of each.
Okay, I see a Night Veil Spectre, a Thassa, a Rapid Hybridization, and then I couldn't catch the rest of it. He keeps it, though. So presumably good stuff.
Yeah, it looks like Bruce has 2 Doomblades, a second Demon now.
And Thoughtseize, what you got? Rapid Hybridization, Night Veil Spectre, Thassa, Night Veil Spectre, Rapid Hybridization, Mutavault, Island. That's interesting.
How is Thassa in this matchup? It seems like it wouldn't be so great. I guess it keeps your threats coming, but it seems so hard to turn on.
The thing that makes the Thassa actually really shine is the blue 1 activation, which can make their defenses completely unimportant as you just slide on through. Interesting decisions here for Bruce Edelman. I know. Did you say he had Doomblades in hand?
I think he has 2 Doomblades, so I don't know how you don't take a Night Veil Spectre. your removal spells don't even remove them.
He's got look at that.
Yeah,
he holds the Doom Blades off to the side. He's like, 2 Doom Blades.
The blood band is irrelevant.
You can't doom those guys.
And he says, well, I can't doom your god either. I'll get that guy.
The elf stuff is kind of irrelevant to the planet.
Island go.
Condition, but it still gets like
And
the way the black
Bruce here
putting a bunch of cards on the board and then
draws a pack rat, and does he not have a land?
No, he's still stuck on 2.
Oh boy.
I agree. Like this is like the scariest card.
Okay.
That's
And
why, that is why the dreaded 2-lander is the dreaded 2-lander.
third land or no? Okay, and no land, and Night Veil Spectre is going to start running away with this game. Andrew untaps so quick.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm like. But there's still. Yeah.
I still think I take a Spectre with that thought seize.
Take 2. Whenever that happens, it's one of the best feelings. That might not get cast this game.
Probably not.
You never know, actually. If he laid a Nykthos, he could cast
Do you
it.
think he avoids playing?
Oh my goodness, that is a monster right now.
Yeah, it's
Okay, that's
so
just
brutal against a mana-starved opponent.
And when Bruce Edelman probably casts Doomblade on it, he's going to turn it into a frog, alligator, squirrel. And frog, alligator, squirrel, sprite.
It's like, oh, you just gave me a wild Nikado.
And finally, Bruce Edelman draws the third land.
One-time dodge.
And he says go.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to draw.
That Night Veil Spectre is just going to be a monster here. Oh my goodness, Bident.
Yeah.
Wow.
Biden is one of the best cards in this matchup, right? Like,
It's so good. The entire idea of attritioning your opponent out with the black deck just goes all the way down the tubes when a Biden hits play. So what's going to happen here? At best, Bruce Edelman can Doomblade the frog, alligator, squirrel, nymph, and the Night Veil Spectre is going to hit, get a card off the top, and a draw. At worst, Bruce Edelman could make a second pack rat, double block, and lose both rats.
yeah, bad choices all around.
I mean, I think he's just got to Doomblade that
Yeah.
that 3/3, and then accept the fact that that Night Veil Spectre is a monster. I mean, does he have a Hero's Downfall in hand, or is it just that Doomblade?
Can you
I
just-
think it's just the Doomblade.
Can you just take it and start making pack rats? I don't know. That doesn't seem either very good either.
But that's the other option.
Yeah,
Taking
that's like
it
his last option is like just like hope this pack rat gets all the way.
Okay, we're about to find out where he's going with this.
He's making a pack rat.
Okay, pack rat. I don't like that, but
Yeah, this seems like the worst choice.
2 and 1, they're both dead. No, 2 and 1, they're both dead. There you
Yeah,
go. And then the trigger and the other trigger.
I don't think he knew.
And Andrew has already laid a land, I believe.
No, he
No,
had
he didn't?
4 last
Oh,
turn.
wow, that's amazing then.
Yeah, if you remember, he played the Mutavault, deliberated for a while whether to play something besides the.
Right. And Bruce Edelman was just wanting to draw that land. There it was on top of his library. Night Veil Spectre said, sorry. Oh my gosh. Wow.
That is. What do you call a group of specters? Is it a flock of specters?
A flock of specters.
It's like they're sheep. I think they're sheep. Circular humor if you've been watching all day.
Takes the rapid hybridization. I don't blame him.
He can play his whole deck with that hand. His entire deck.
And right now, Andrew Baeckstrom, activate, attack. That's going to be 2 cards. Well, is there a Doomblade in the house? Oh my gosh.
So Watery Grave so he can play it and play another Spectre.
And 2 cards drawn from the Bident. It's hard to imagine Bruce Edelman stacking his deck to create a victory here.
Yeah, I don't know what he does here.
Frostburn Weird with mana open. Doomblade hits the Weird.
Yeah, he just has insurmountable card advantage and board advantage right now.
There's a Devour Flesh in Bruce's hand, but mana open for the Mutavault.
All right, Devour Flesh.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, he says, I don't need this Spectre anymore. I want the mana.
I see what it's like with you stalled on mana over there. I'll.
Okay. In for 2 and a card. And remember, he's got infinite Nightveil Spectres in hand.
The second Biden.
Oh, my goodness. 1 mana open. I think he has a rapid hybridization in his hand from all of the stuff that's happened earlier.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Bruce Edelman at 6 life. Devour you again. It doesn't even matter. He's like, that's who needs that? Who needs Nightveil Spectre? It doesn't matter. Another Cloudfin Raptor. Another Nightveil Spectre. Evolve, attack, swing.
Yeah.
Draw 2 cards. Andrew Baeckstrom.
Having some fun over there, Andrew?
Andrew Baeckstrom is about to become the person still in the #1 seed, the only 24.
Probably
There's a Desecration Demon. That's it.
I think he likely has locked up play for the top 8 as well.
Yeah.